P90X3 Ab Ripper Review. Ab Ripper X. I hate it, but I love it. The iconic words of Tony Horton as he introduces the 16-minute routine that has your stomach begging for mercy. I've done Ab Ripper X literally hundreds, maybe even 1,000 times now, to the point where I don't need to watch the DVD to know the moves, and I can recite every tip, every suggestion, and every corny joke Tony makes during those 16 minutes. Yeah, I guess I know it pretty well. Of course, I've also done X2 Ab Ripper a number of times, another great but very different ab workout. Needless to say, I was curious to see what Tony had in store for X3 Ab Ripper. So we start the clock at 15 minutes, the only P90X3 workout that isn't 30 minutes. But would you expect Ab Ripper to be 30 minutes? I wouldn't. Let's get into it. So an interesting thing about X3 Ab Ripper is that it only consists of 8 exercises. All are fairly long though, and engage many parts of the core. We start off with the Man Windmill. Legs are spread and we twist left to right, bringing the opposite hand to the foot. Followed that with Dolphin Hops, basically starting in a Sphinx Plank, hopping in 3 times, holding, and then hopping back to plank. Burned my shoulders after the beating I took with the challenge. Next came CY Reach. Started in a C-sit position, then move side to side, reaching up to a Y with your arms. Next came Sphinx Crunch Hold. Back to the Sphinx Plank, and brought each knee up towards the corresponding tricep. Again, tough, but on the upper body, and holding that knee up really forced me to work. We followed that with 5-way Abrinome. Of course, Abrinome has appeared in many P90X workouts in some form. This was pretty similar, though added moving forward and a slight hip lift. We then moved on to hip drop twist, an ab move that used the weight. Yes, you heard that right. We've got weights involved now. Basically 2 hip ups with the weight in the air, then reach underneath the opposite side of your body. Pretty tough. Next came bridge burner. With a weight again, started in a banana position, came up to a boat. Then 4 mason twists, back to boat, and back to banana. A very similar exercise appeared in Ab Ripper X round 2, but adding the weight here turned up the volume by quite a bit. Finally, we came to the end with speed bike. Started on our back with a fairly standard bicycle, went for 10 reps slowly before going fast for 10. Kept alternating between fast and slow for 100 reps until we got to the end, which we kept it really slow and held each for several seconds. Quite an isometric burn to finish things off. So how was it? Well, for one, it was very different than a lot of ab routines we've seen from Tony in the past. No traditional crunches, a lot of dynamic movements in several different positions. But overall, my stomach was certainly sore by the end. There are so many ways to work the abs, and it's important to have variety. Of course, it's also important to work the entire core, which this routine does. What good is it to have a six-pack if the rest of your trunk is weak? It is necessarily harder than Ab Ripper X or X2 Ab Ripper. I think I'll need to do it a few more times to come to the conclusion. But without a doubt, X3 Ab Ripper gets the job done, and you'll certainly feel it the next day.